Aquarius, welcome back or welcome to my channel, Pearls of Wisdom and Witchery. My name is Becca, for those of you who don't know me. I pull a 5-position spread. The first position is your recent past. The second position is your present situation. The third position is your blockage. The fourth position is your message from spirit, and the fifth position is your potential outcome. So thank you all for the likes, the comments, the amazing love and support, and thank you Goddess Dragon Tarot. For those of you who haven't heard of her, check her out. She's awesome. I hope this reading helps you and that you enjoy it. So for your recent past, we have the 4 of air. This is meditation, contemplation, rest after a battle, usually. That's the 4 of swords in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. So there was a battle and then rest. In your present situation, we have the 7 of air. So this card in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is the liar, cheater, stealing card. But in this deck, it talks more about strategy and being very quiet, potentially secretive. Let's see what your potential block is. So we have rest after a battle and trying to come up with a strategy. Interesting. What is the blockage for Aquarius? Justice. Very interesting. Now, this could be a Libra, could be the justice system. I will admit that when I was shuffling your cards, the Devil card showed itself to me 3 times. So, what is the message from Spirit? The Queen of Water. Some of you could be dealing with a water sign. But the Queen of Water, she's emotionally balanced. You know, I always feel like queens are more solitary than kings are. She's very loving. And your potential outcome is the Messenger of Fire. So this is taking action. It's the Knight of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. The bottom of the deck, the energy for your overall reading is the Page of Air. So this is clear communication. It could be a clear thought. It could be an epiphany moment. It could be that aha moment. But this could also be study, going back to school. It could be kind of keeping an eye on someone. And underneath that, we have the Strength card, and then the Empress, which also showed itself to me in the pre-shuffle. So you could be learning something, or you could have gotten a message that has you kind of trying to come up with a strategy to get out of some bad karma. What kind of stood out to me about this Justice card, your potential blockage, is that the scales are not even. There could be telling the truth to weigh out those scales. The Page of Air, when they communicate, it can be a little immature, but they're generally very direct. This is a no BS communicator. If it crosses your mind type of person, it comes out of your mouth, a little filterless. That's what I'm picking up. So let's clarify this 4 of air. So the original deck that I just pulled from is The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. I love the imagery on it. For those of you studying tarot, it's a great, very interesting. It's a great intuitive deck because the imagery is just so lovely. So the first card that came out is the Six of Swords. This talks about moving out of rough waters and into calmer waters. Then we have this Page of Swords again, but this time it's in reverse. So maybe this person isn't communicating with you, or you left the situation and stopped communicating with them and didn't take whatever offer it was that they were giving you. In the current situation, you are quietly planning a strategy cards are landing on the Justice card. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Here she is. Okay. We have the Nine of Swords. So nines talk about endings. They're also incredibly single energy. There's a lot of swords here. You may be dealing with another air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. But this really has you stuck in anxiety. You're up at night planning the strategy, thinking about this. Ending. We have the Death card. So the Death card is about transformation. You're going through a transformation. The strategy is about how to transform something, but this is a solid ending. It is in the upright. And then we have the Empress. So this card is the Mother card, but she's nurturing this, and whatever this is that you are going over and over and over again in your head. Now, if this is something that someone did to you, this could potentially be the death of this anxiety, the death of this strategy, right? So that you can nurture this new energy coming in. The Death card also, to me, speaks a little about mourning and grieving. Whatever this strategy was, if this was a wrong that was done to you, you know, I'm kind of picking up that you could potentially be judging it too harshly. But this communication isn't being spoken in the present moment. Maybe this is something that you're thinking about talking about. You're thinking about talking about this anxiety and nurturing this new beginning. You know, the Empress, she talks about 6 to 9 months. She can talk about time. This could be trying to transform into this Empress energy and having a strategy in order to do that. But you're being very quiet about it. And I feel like you're trying to balance these karmic scales here. The Justice card, someone could actually be dealing with the justice system. Um, I kind of feel like you may be holding a grudge, kind of picking up a grudge in this. Me personally, I try not to hold grudges, but it's 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 your decision. You have free will. What came out to clarify this Justice card is release. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. The grief. The Five of Pentacles in reverse. And this unrest. The Four of Swords in reverse. So, yeah. And we have 2 4s here, so that, and an 11. That talks about looking for stability. On a practical level, you may be out of work and you're trying to come up with a strategy to study quietly on how to get an end. Something ended here. It could have ended with what you felt was an empress. This could be a mother, if you're having issues with your mother. If your mother passed away, I'm very, very sorry. But having this Justice card, these 2 4s and a 5, because 5 talks about change. And like I said, 4s talk about stability. You're trying to balance those karmic scales. That's your blockage though. You may be holding on to something way too tightly. You could be holding on to your grief way too tightly. If someone left or you left someone, you're very worried about money. It's causing you a lot of unrest. I just heard, how am I going to do this on my own? Someone's really considering if they made the right choice by rejecting this offer, moving away from this offer. You may need some closure, and that's what this Justice card is about, is balancing those scales and closure. But we just had the full moon in Libra, and the second one. And this is important because this time right now is about balancing that karmic scale. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Balancing those karma scales, letting go, releasing the karma. And that unto itself is very difficult. I know. But you have to keep in mind that whatever this ending was, whether it was good or bad, sneaky or, it was just a strategy to get out of a bad situation. Um, we could very well, you know, releasing it. I'm sorry, I'm a little tongue tied. So, you guys, your energy has actually made me pretty tongue tied since I started meditating. I've had a hard time talking. Um, so, what I'm seeing in this is that you're worried about your karma. You're worried about releasing it. And whether this was done to you and you're calling for karmic justice, or you did this to someone else, no judgment. Your blockage is letting it go and forgiving yourself, or letting it go and moving on past it. And I'm really seeing moving past it is very difficult to you because it caused you a lot of grief. You may have even lost a lot of money over this. So that was a lot for your potential block. Let's see what your message from Spirit is. Get a little more into the uplifted side of all of this. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio. Of course, this is the Queen of Water, so it could be a Cancer. Some of these things, I'm going to take that one because I really tried. Some of these things could be hidden from you. So we have the King of Swords in reverse. We have the Six of Pentacles in the upright. And we have the Seven of Wands in the upright. So your message from Spirit is letting go of what you know and letting things balance out, and defending your heart's desire, defending that cup of love on the higher ground, right? The moral high ground. Also, I'm kind of picking up, be careful what you say. So in this card, I'm going to show it to you real quick. She has her eyes closed, but she doesn't look like she's asleep, right? She looks like she's in deep thought, deep meditation. She's very connected to her emotions. You could be feeling very intuitive now, and your intuition is probably dead on. Okay. If this is you embodying this Queen of Water energy, if this is someone that you're dealing with, if this is this Queen of Water, now just because it's a queen doesn't mean that it's female energy, feminine energy. It could be a king who is embodying this for those of you females. It could be a man who is also an air sign with a lot of water in his chart. But this person, if it's a man that has a lot of, if it's a man that is an air sign, his counsel is not wise. But this Queen of Water has released this air sign, because we do have a queen and a king here. And that's actually defending this balance, okay? So this is talking to me about getting in touch with your heart and what you love, and that's going to bring balance out, but you're going to have to defend that. Um, you're going to have to defend that balance. You're going to have to fight for your balance. If this is a divorce situation, because I'm kind of seeing that too, um, you're being more soft and feminine in your actions. For those of you who are male, more receptive, is going to help balance this. You know, giving equally what both people deserve, no matter what your counsel says. You can be a kind and generous person without being taken advantage of. Let's clarify this messenger of fire. You have a lot of angst in your energy. Now, the messenger of fire, this is a person of action. Um, and, you know, it's one of the fastest moving knights, but this person moves in confidence. They move quickly. They're good leaders, is what I'm trying to say. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Beautiful energy. But it is also a 10. This talks about timing. So knowing when to take action. Let's start with this one. Yeah. Winning at all cost is not important. Moving away from this inner conflict. Now, this can also be words, so this can be a lot of gossip. But the Five of Swords talks about inner conflict and winning at all costs. You know, someone could have said some terrible things to you. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Strength card in reverse. So some of you may be dealing with a Leo person. But, you know, tens talk about ends. Let this end. Take the action that you need to take. Sometimes the Strength card in reverse to me talks about forceful action, like I'm doing this. But this talks about leaving the conflict behind, letting that betrayal go, and being at peace with the action that you need to take. Sorry about that. Very loud motorcycle that just went by. But yeah, I mean, you have the strength to do this. Once you've let go. Again, that's if you're taking on this messenger of, of fire. If this is someone that you're dealing with, they don't have staying power, right? And you need to accept that and let go of this conflict, this tit for tat, ego and arrogance, and letting go of the betrayals. Aquarius. That was a pretty clear message, I think. And I hope I covered all the scenarios for you. I'm going to pull a Kuan Yin card, and I'm going to pull a Fairy Forest. We have the number 38, the Sigil Keeper. 38 reduces down to an 11. So 11 is about manifestation. The Sigil Keeper talks about symbols, signs, and messages. And then we have the number 11, enter the Jade Temple. It's been a while since I read that one, so I don't exactly remember what it's talking about. Let's read the Sigil Keeper first. Find the page. The Sigil Keeper. Symbols, signs, messages. When the Sigil Keeper comes to you, there will be no words. Instead, there will be shapes and signs and messages flowing, as though a language of symbols is being shared with you. When she comes, you are being encouraged to participate in this process by creating and shaping your own magical symbols and beginning to consciously choose the symbolic language that you are creating and connecting with every single day. You may wish to find a symbol at this time that represents you and the part of the journey you are exploring at present. You may wish to look around your home and see what hidden symbols you have worked their way into your life, and you may wish to rearrange these, remove some, replace others with symbols that are consciously chosen to be of greatest magical support to you at this time. Look at your clothing, what you wear, and see the symbolic nature of this. And go through your jewelry and consider carefully the energy of its symbols and whether you wish to connect with this. Sigil work is simple but ever so powerful, and this amazing being is a reminder to work with intelligence and to exercise your choice at all times. You must choose carefully now what symbols you keep about you, for they have shaped you more than you have ever truly considered. Very interesting. And the reason I think this is interesting is because the first thing that popped into my mind was a wedding ring. So, yeah. Just saying. Number 11. Enter the Jade Temple. Kuan Yin, in her temple of peaceful jade, causes all conflict to elevate to higher peaceful resolution. A resolution and healing of any situation that is concerning you is already underway. In fact, you are being asked to begin to feel the relief of that resolution now, so you can more readily receive the divine solution and blessing of peace from the beloved Kuan Yin when it arrives. There are moments on the path where conflict arises and struggles emerge. These conflicts may be within us or appear to be in an external relationship or situation. This can be part of the experience of life on the physical plane that actually helps us raise our vibration to find unity and yet still honor our individuality. There is a spiritual light within, a light of peace that can be brought to bear on any situation or struggle, an energy of peace that can transform even the deepest conflict through blessings of the divine goddess, priestess of the Jade Temple, Kuan Yin. Peace does not mean avoiding conflict or pretending that struggle does not exist. Peace is the light that flows when we are able to step above the illusions of separation, competition, and conflict, to seek out the consciousness where we are in fact all one in divine love, and we all are serving the path of light in our own unique ways together. The energy of such a high level of genuine consciousness is transformative. It allows us to surrender judgment, to release any need to prove ourselves or our worth to another. Instead, we can just live our lives and allow others to do the same with more peace in our hearts. Conflict comes when opportunity to grow more in inner peace and loving acceptance of all paths, to learn to detachment and to trust. It takes a mature soul to call in peace, because it is not a way to avoid conflict. It is a way to use conflict as a spiritual tool through which to grow and become bigger than the conflict, to make allowance for each being to choose their own way to grow, and to call forth the spiritual genius of the divine that is able to provide solutions that can bring peace to all. The divine goddess speaks to you now and says that your resolution is assured. Have faith. Be prepared to surrender your viewpoint and receive a new one that will serve you and bring you to peace at a higher level of reality. It is no longer about right or wrong. It is now about stepping up into peace and resolution, more joy and more delight. You are so capable of this, and you will enjoy the wonder of the healing process as you surrender into the Jade Temple, the place of peace over which Kuan Yin presides as priestess and guide. She bestows healing blessing on your life situation now. This oracle is confirmation that if you have been struggling, a time of respite and peace is on its way to you swiftly now. That's a beautiful reading, Aquarius. And all of these 11s talk about you being able to manifest peace. So I wish you well. And if this reading has helped you, please hit the like and subscribe button. Share it on your social media. And remember, at the end of the day, I love you. Have a good night. Bye.